PayPal closing out its strongest, we're moving on, the strongest year ever after reporting a surge in quarterly revenue. The stock outperforming the broader market over the past 12 months. PayPal said its activity on its network remained high at the end of 2020 when it started allowing customers to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. For more on what's working, we're joined now by Courtney Gibson, president of Loop Capital Markets and a CNBC contributor. And I told you it's good for me to be old because you know who I know well, and I know, I don't know, it might have been when you were a high school intern, but Jim Reynolds used to come on Squawk all the time. Courtney, you know that, right?
Absolutely, I do, Joe. And you can't call yourself old, right? You're seasoned. You're seasoned, or like a fine wine. You're getting better with time, Joe.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. But give him our best. I know he's still active and around. And running
Absolutely.
Loop. So I said earlier that
absolutely
you can talk to both PayPal, which is one of your favorite stocks, although you're not obviously a stock analyst. You're president of this capital markets firm, but. Talk about PayPal and how that, technology never really goes out of fashion, even with valuations, because it's just the future.
Absolutely. I mean, the digitization of our economy, Joe, is a real thing. And I think the PayPal earnings that we saw last night just further reiterated that. I mean, the structural changes that we've seen, PayPal has just been a huge beneficiary, as many of the other fintech names have been. And I just expect this name to continue to grow. It's our analyst, Ken Hill, one of his favorites for 2021. And, I personally hold the name based on his call, and we're up pretty nicely today.
The other reason that I referenced it hasn't been talked about much, but you think some of the biggest beneficiaries in sort of ironically, of the GameStop frenzy are some of the clearing firms that are seeing the increase in volume. And you actually recommending some of these, or is your firm?
Well, not necessarily the clearing firms, Joe, but the actual brokerage houses themselves. When you think about where brokerage firms, whether it's Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, or whether it's the exchanges like an ICE or NASDAQ, they make money when people trade, right? It's that volatility and the increase in volumes that allow them to make money. And so I think some of the really big beneficiaries, and again, it hasn't really been talked about as much, it's been talked about in a negative way, but these firms are going to benefit. Even when you think about the volatility and increased volumes at the beginning of the pandemic last year, and we saw earnings coming out of the financial services firms, where did they make their money? In their trading arms. And so, pay close attention to that. It was a minimal spike. I mean, if we're being honest, it was just a week in time, but that increased volatility and increased volumes did probably create some incremental revenues that weren't actually anticipated for this year.
Is that a hedge fund guy behind you that is broke now and he can't afford to fly his private plane? Is that what I'm looking at?
You know what, Joe? It's a little bit of irony, right? And I do love this photo here that my husband bought, this painting, because let's be honest, hedge funds did not lose last week. Just as in any trade, someone is quote unquote a winner and someone may be a loser. This is a joke. These hedge fund guys, there were plenty of big winners last week on the institutional side, on the hedge fund side, as there should have been, right? If they were good, they got in on this trade, just like the quants and momentum traders, just like there were some retail guys that probably made some money. So it's a little bit of a joke there for your viewers.
We're finding that out now.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.